So as soon as high school hit, I just started doing everything under the sun that like my parents definitely didn't want me doing.
Yeah.
So like drinking, doing coke, like smoking a lot of weed. I was doing salvia like during class. Like I didn't. I was,
And welcome back to Sleepless, a podcast about the creative process. I'm Robin, and this is Tom,
I'm
and
Tom.
we have Elaine joining us today. Elaine spent many years working in the hospitality industry, decided that she needed to change some things and started Sobriety, and from then on took the leap of becoming a full-time content creator. She is also a musician, a creative, and you're very welcome today, Elaine.
thank you so much for having me,
You're welcome.
guys.
And this is not your first time here at Sleepless.
No, it is probably, I think, my fourth.
Fourth time.
Yeah, the last time I was here, I extended my time by half an hour.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, actually, probably not, like I was there for the hour, and then I was like, oh my God, my arms are going to fall off. I played the drums. So my arms were going to fall off after like the hour 15 mark.
Wow. And when did you start playing the drums?
During COVID.
During COVID?
Yeah,
Okay.
during COVID, because I was dating a guy. He was, a musician as well, but we both played guitar. And then I was like, we needed a drummer. We wanted to kind of make a COVID band,
Right.
and we needed a drummer. So we had a drum kit. So I just started messing around with it. I've been a musician kind of my whole life, and it was easy to pick up. It's almost like taking like your brain and having to like pick it apart to like a whole different instrument. It's different, but it's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you play other instruments as well, right?
Yes. So I started singing like before I could read. I'm Filipino. We play a lot of karaoke. Like I had a karaoke machine at my house. I was playing all the time. My mom used to whisper the words in my ear so that because I couldn't read.
Right.
And then by the time I was like in grade school, like 4th grade, 5th grade, I was like doing a lot of singing stuff and like doing a lot of musicals. But then I was like very intrigued by the guitar. My dad had a Spanish nylon string guitar at our house, and I picked it up, and it was huge because I'm small already as it is, and it was like double the size of me, and I just got hooked. I would play every day until probably 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'd play like really lightly so I wouldn't wake anybody up, and then my hands started to bleed, and then my dad was like, he clearly see I was dedicated at it, so he took me to a guitar shop, and we picked up like a little tiny pink guitar that was like for kids. And from there, I couldn't put music down. I was doing music all the time, playing guitar, singing every day after school. He tried to enroll me in lessons. They pulled me out because the guy was like, he kind of had like this like hippie vibe, if you could say. And he was like, he sat my dad down. He's like, she already knows how to play. Like you're wasting your money. Like you don't need me. And then after that, years and years go by. I was like playing in high school, but then drugs kind of got involved.
Okay.
Right. So I didn't actually
The rock
play.
and roll lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. at this point like I had like 4 or 5 guitars, but I was just not being consistent anymore. And then during COVID, I picked that up, the drums, and it was different because it's playing like every time you listen to a song, you're listening to the guitar. No matter what song you listen to, like that's what your brain naturally picks up if you play the guitar all the time.
Right.
And then when I started to play the drums, it was like a whole different thing. And like the drums is like, I honestly thought it was going to be easy to pick up because it's not like the guitar where you have all these like classical like ways of going about it. But with the drums, it's actually different because you have to you're like the heart of the whole band. Like they're following
the beat
you.
going,
Yeah. So it was different for sure. And it's something that I use as kind of like a way for like therapy. Like I don't go to therapy. I don't really want to talk to anybody about my feelings. What I want to do is can I swear on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to hit shit when I'm like, like frustrated, right? So that's exactly why I was like coming down here. I think I've come down here now like 3 or 4 times just to kind of, it's different when you're in a creative process as much as I am right now. It's good to have a different creative
Yeah.
outlet
Yeah.
to separate yourself from that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a different space. We always talk about.
Yeah.
We talked about third spaces.
The third space.
Exactly.
A lot now. So yeah, it's good to get you out of the.
So when you were growing up, then did you have these ambitions to be like a famous singer, or in a big band?
No, not at
Wow.
all. Definitely not. I would say I loved to play by myself in my room.
Okay.
I love to like just be in a flow state. Now that I'm older, I think that's exactly what I would call it, because I find it in different aspects of my life. I find it in content creating. I find it with like writing scripts for content. I find it with playing the drums. It's like you get into this like Zen mode where it's not even like you're articulating things like in a logical sense. It's like your brain is doing it on the back end, if that makes sense.
And time just goes like
Exactly. Like I could be doing like I'm like editing and I'm like I get all these ideas and I put it down into the phone, and then like an hour slips by and I'm like, holy crap, where did that time go? Yeah. So definitely not. That wasn't my ambition. I think it was just honestly, I've always been kind of artistic in a sense. I think my dad was the one who really wanted me to be the famous one. He'd like make me sing at like my uncle's wedding in like Pennsylvania with like hundreds of people, and I have no like I was a kid, right? He loved that about me though. He loved that I was into music because like his whole side of the family was.
Yeah.
So I think it was more to show me like, dude, like look what my daughter can do,
Yeah.
rather than like I want her to be famous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting because like now you're like a content creator, so it's like you're almost like in front of people all the time now, and like there's a level of like not fame there, but like you have like more people looking at like your stuff than you were maybe even as a musician.
100%.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic, really.
Yeah, musician was like the most I would do is I would be like singing at like the what do you call it? The talent shows in elementary school, and that was huge because there's like 1,000 kids.
Yeah.
But here, like I like now that you say that, I don't even pay attention to that when I put out content. Right? It's like my most recent like video that went huge was like 2 posts ago, and it's at like 230,000 views right now, and I'm like my brain can physically understand that number. Does that make sense? It's like
it's so big. It's so fast.
so big that it's like and when I put out content, I'm not like, wow, like 200,000 people are gonna see this. It's just I want it to hit the right people.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's like definitely something like I suppose with for us, we're also trying to create content as well to obviously promote the brand. But you look at it and you're sometimes like, 500 views. But it's like a weird thing because if you were to like sit in front of 500 people and be like, hey, leave the studios, you'd be like,
That's
whoa.
Exactly, yes. I literally saw a post like that when I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been scrolling as soon as I woke up, but I did. And I saw that. And it was a girl who was like, when you say, I just got 100 posts, and it puts like 100 people, 500 people, and it's like filling up like a football stadium. So to me, like, and I sometimes have to put myself in check because when things happen, like, and it's a reoccurring thing with every creator, especially with the new algorithm, it's like, you could have 80,000 followers, but sometimes your videos aren't going to hit and you're going to get 2,000 views.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, oh man, like 2,000 views, like that's it, dude. A year ago, I would pray for 2,000 or 2,000 views.
Yeah, well,
right?
It kind of goes to that thing we were talking about with another guest, the hedonic treadmill, where basically once you achieve the thing you wanted to achieve, it's suddenly not enough anymore, and then it's like the next thing and the next thing, and you're never fully happy.
Yeah.
Which is just a funny little wrinkle in especially content creation, I find.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's Layla Hermosi. She was talking about something like that too, where it's like she's like, people come to me and be like, man, like you're doing such a good job, like you're winning, and she's like, and that's how I feel. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm winning because every time I hit this milestone, my brain automatically goes, okay, well, I haven't achieved this yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes I have to practice myself in stopping and smelling the roses and being appreciative, right?
Yeah.
And were you also doing the content creation while you were working in hospitality?
No.
Or did that start after?
No. So basically what had happened was I was bartending, and I had 2 jobs. I was like working and like packing cocktail kits because I wanted like extra hours away from the bar. But then I was also working the weekends. Like I think it was like 5 p.m. to like 4 a.m. at the bars.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
And I got sober at that time. And I think like after I got sober, I just really wanted a drink. So I just put my phone up and then I was like, I really want an espresso martini. And I recorded myself because I have so many bartenders in Toronto that follow me.
Yeah.
I've worked literally everywhere, so I know everybody.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I just want to show people like I had no idea we even had non-alcoholic spirits here in Canada or like in the whole world. I had no idea this even existed. I knew about like non-alcoholic beer, but not spirits. So I made the espresso martini. And I think I just fell in love with the process. Like it was cool to be able to like, you know, see myself on camera and like chop everything up and edit it, put the captions on top, put the music, and then, you know, like put it out there, and it got like really good results. And then I did another one after that, and I was like, oh, this would be like something super cool. And then I think like I had one contract with this brand from Canada.
Okay.
And that was like my first brand deal. It definitely was not enough to live. Definitely not. So what had happened was I went to a different job in bartending, trying to just get less hours, but then like they weren't even paying really well. And I was like, my fiance could tell I was not, he was my boyfriend at the time. He could tell I wasn't happy. And so he was like, you know what, Elaine, you know, move in with me. You don't have to pay rent. But he lived in like a 400-foot square condo.
Okay.
And he had a dog and I have a cat.
Right.
Yeah. So it was tough. So it was like, he was like, but move in with me. I'll take care of it all. Like pitch in what you can, but go all in on this content creating and see what happens. And that's what I did. I moved out of my condo. I moved in with him. I quit that job. I went all in, and it was very humbling from going from making like hospitality. I was in bartending in Toronto on King Street, which you can imagine they make a lot of tips.
Yeah.
Right. And then like also College Street, that was actually even probably more because you don't have to share with as many people. But like,
Okay, that's it.
yeah.
Right.
So I definitely, it was a huge pay cut, and it was like, okay, like sink or swim. Either, you know, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, do I have to go back to bartending? But I was like, no, I gotta keep trying. And here we are.
Yeah,
Wow.
Here we are.
Yeah.
So what prompted your jump into sobriety?
Okay.
If you don't.
No, totally fine. That's why I love using my platform to help other women as well, or just help people in general. But I couldn't even see it at the time, but now in hindsight, I did have a problem with alcohol and drugs since I was young. Like since I was in high school, I was going into school. I can say this now because my mom doesn't care anymore. She probably knows everything. I was going into high school. I'd like steal, like they didn't drink, so they wouldn't even notice that stuff was gone. So I'd get like a Bailey's. I'd like put it in my morning cup of coffee, take that to school. Maybe I'd somehow find vodka, put that into like a little water bottle with orange juice, shake that up, drink it in class, in religion class. I was doing that. No one in my friend group even tried cocaine or even whatever, dabble in cocaine.
Yeah.
I found someone in high school to buy cocaine off of. I did it by myself in school.
What?
Yeah, like
What do you think prompted that?
I was being rebellious. Honestly, I was always I always sat in self-pity. I always held on to grudges really. I didn't have a good relationship with my parents when I was younger. So I think it was kind of like a, fuck you guys, I'm going to do me. Because they literally had always restricted me when I was a kid. I'm Asian. I'm Filipino. I'm the youngest daughter in the family out of 6 children. I was very much like coddled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was restricted. I couldn't have many, like, I couldn't go out much. Like, smoking a lot of weed. I was doing salvia like during class. Like I was doing salvia during lunch break out of a bong, and I remember like going like this in like -10 weather, like, because you lose your sense of gravity. But like, so it started at a very young age, and it kept popping in and out of my life. And I'd go months where I wouldn't do blow, and then they would come back, and it would come back worse than ever each time. So it wasn't until like I was in a really bad relationship in like 2022, 2023. And when that ended, I was like, I had no idea who I was. And I was partying every day by myself. Every day. It got so bad, and I'm open about it on Instagram. Like, I spent $700 on blow by myself in a week. And that was just, that was a lot. So that was kind of where I was like, and then I missed my dad's birthday. I partied so long that I missed his birthday and I forgot. So they called me when I was high, and he was like, are you coming? And I was like, what? Oh my God, like, I'm sick. I'm sorry. Yeah. But what it really was I had completely lost what day it was.
Yeah.
So it was just a buildup of that mixed on top with, I was like, I don't want to be alive anymore. Like, I don't even know what my purpose is. Like, I'm bartending and like, I'm making money, but I'm as much as I'm making it, I'm spending it so fast just back into horrible things. And that's when like I had a moment of clarity, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give myself a goal. So what I did was I bought a plane ticket to Spain by myself. For the first time, I was gonna go on a solo trip, but in order to be able to afford that, I couldn't go out. So that was like, okay, like I need to, like, I basically, like, that held me accountable. So I did that, and I haven't touched Coke or alcohol since January of 2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Like, I used to work as like in kitchens for many years, like through college and even before college. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like cocaine in the service industry is just synonymous. And I remember I was very lucky to work with head chefs who didn't want it in their kitchen. But I also was aware of head chefs that would say and encourage. They would have a drug dealer. The drug dealer would basically give them it for free or no cost. And the quote was, I can't remember who the quote was basically, if all my staff do cocaine, they work harder and they're poor enough that they keep coming back.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's where, was it in Toronto?
No, this is, we actually are both from Ireland originally. So.
Oh, wow. So it's the same as it is here.
Yeah.
No, it literally was like, I'm not going to name the bar that I worked at, but it was a while ago. And there was like a resident dealer, if you will.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of like a unspoken thing. It was like, okay, I'll take care of not take care of the bill. I just wouldn't punch it in.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, like you do that and you give me a bag.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. And, like that's how super accessible it was. Or like even bartending, like sometimes like I would go, because I'm like a homie with guys. So like I'd go and like dap them, and then they would try to put a bag in my hand.
Wow.
And like that was like a tip. And I was like, back then I was like, whoa, what is this? I was 19. I'm like, what is going on here? So it was definitely, it's the same here, trust me. Like, and I used to party a lot with the kitchen guys, and they're crazy.
They are crazy. Yeah. So this is another thing about the service industry that I think makes it, I suppose, harder to stay sober, is that you're busiest when everyone else is having their most fun. Yeah. And then you're watching that all day, and you're so busy and like at high like intensity the whole time, that by the time it's done, it's like 3 a.m. and you've just watched people have so much fun, and you're like, I want to do this because now I've missed out on all this, and you end up like getting wrapped up in some party and then staying out till whatever.
Yeah, like, well, the last place I worked at, we all collectively, it was like a very small team. I think it was about like 4 of us, and we all drank and we all did drugs. And it was like, if I didn't have the FOMO, because I would just pour shots. Like, I was that coworker. If you worked with me, I'd be like, it's shot o'clock, or like, it would be like staff meeting right now, or like safety meeting. And then I would do that, and I would do that the whole night. Like, it would be like, they'd be like, Elaine, oh my God, man, it hasn't even been 10 minutes. I'm like, no, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of where like my addictive personality shows, I think, is because it's like I never knew when to stop.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're drumming until it hurts and you're doing guitar until it bleeds, there's definitely a causality there.
No, but it's definitely also, I think, it's a horrible trait in the addictive sense of like, drugs and alcohol. But when it comes to that driven or like relentlessness, I guess, is for when you're at work,
Yeah.
right? Like even as a bartender, before I started like really getting super back into the drugs, I was really good at bartending. Like I was a bar manager by the time I was 22, 23. Like that's unheard of in Toronto. And it was because I was like, I really wanted to learn. I wanted to put everything that I had. I had to be the fastest. I had to have like the nicest drinks. And like, yeah, I just like to put in my all into everything, right? Because what's the point in wasting my time if I'm not going to give it everything?
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, don't do anything half-assed.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I saw one of your posts, and it was actually kind of it was a good one. It was like, I spent so much time like making somebody else's dream better than myself. You were putting all, and it's like, oh yeah, it's so true. Like you were doing the best you can for basically somebody who owns the bar.
Yes. Like I actually was just talking about this with my fiance earlier today. I'm not even going to lie to you. I like, because you guys own Sleepless Studios, right? So you're entrepreneurs, right? You don't have to answer really to anybody.
I still work a full-time job, but
Okay.
I still answer to somebody.
Well, so I was thinking this as I was like, dude, it was only, we were walking by a bar and I look at like the bartenders and, they were twiddling their thumbs. It was dead, right? It's not going to get busy till later. And I was like, dude, what is it like to have to base my day off of, someone else's dream?
Yeah.
Right. It's like, but obviously you're getting Sleepless Studios down and like, that's something that, that's your dream. Right.
Yeah.
So I fully encourage, and that's why I do posts like that, is I want people to really see it's like, okay, like take a step back for a second and really see where you're putting all your time and your energy. Like you could be making $100,000 a year, but you're in an office, right? Like, wouldn't you rather make, I don't know, $60,000 a year, but you get to stay at home with your dog?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's being an entrepreneur though is like you touched on it earlier. Like you have to take that jump and you have to sink or swim. And people, that's a big ask for a lot of people because they have kids, they have mortgages.
Exactly. No, understandably. And
for some people, I don't think it's achievable. So they have to like try and make whatever work and find the happiness into maybe not. It's kind of like taking that Taoist approach where in Taoism, the whole point is like, you don't have to be special to enjoy life. You are just part of this whole thing that is life. So I think there's pros and cons to it. Like
no, 100%. And I think the same thing too. With like, I just had a meeting with a client, and all these women are trying to become full-time content creators.
Yeah.
But this one client I have, she was like, I would completely quit my job and just do this, but it's the health benefits, and it's like that's where it's like circumstantial, and I'm like, yes, no, like I don't have anything where I would need to be tied into like having to need health benefits, but obviously it's like. It's not also for everybody, because also with content creating and I think with entrepreneurship, it's very like you don't really stop working.
No,
right? And sometimes I saw a video of a girl who is just like, I'm going back to my 9 to 5. She content created for I think a year or something. She's making really great money, but she was like, the point of like the content creating was it's supposed to be fun. Yeah. And it's no longer fun because now I'm working with these brands. I have to be scripted. It took the fun out of that. And on top of that, you're not done working at 10 p.m. You're on your phone still doing something for work, right?
Your scrolling becomes work because you're trying to be like, what's the inspiration?
What's next?
So then by like 9 to 5, right? And that's a good thing about having a 9 to 5, if you like that, is that you get to leave your work at work.
Yep.
Right?
And you might still have time to do the side thing. Exactly.
And that's a lot of my clients are like that too. They want to be able to they're like, I have a 9 to 5, but I get bored when I'm at home. I want something where I want to stay busy and maybe even be able to monetize with it too. Yeah.
A friend of mine, his name was Luca Reedy, and he did a lot of content, and his whole thing was around helping initially men, but then he met his now wife and they kind of trying to help relationships and stuff like that. But then he had his kid, and then after that he was like, you know what, I don't want to do content anymore. I would prefer to focus on my kid growing up and stuff like that. But I was like, holy shit, you're just walking away from like 100,000 follower account. And he's like, yep, doesn't mean anything to me anymore, which, it's just funny to see, after watching. Like for me, watching him, I was like, how do I like get my thing? And then after all that work, he just realized that it just wasn't for him anymore, which is just an interesting thing as well.
Definitely. I don't even know like if I would stay content creating forever.
Yeah.
It's a lot, right? Like it's my fiance said it best, it's like a reality show. And it's how much do I really want to put out there forever,
Yeah.
right? It's like eventually I don't know where my life is going to take me, but in the meantime, this is what I want to do right now. But
Yeah.
am I going to want to record myself forever? Probably not. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Paris Hilton doesn't do it anymore.
Really?
But I did out. Like, she used to have that reality TV show, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then she
The
doesn't do
Simple
that.
Life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she doesn't do that anymore. So,
Yeah.
no, it is. Like, I battle with it as well because, you know, I made a decision after being off social media for like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
And then for Sleepless, I kind of thought, like, people these days love a story, love a background thing. Like, who is this individual, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to have to get back on it and kind of build that personal brand again.
Mm-hmm.
But it is tough. Like, that is a really tough thing where you're almost like going through life and you're like, oh, this would be a really cool content clip. Or like, instead of being more present than you once were, I suppose.
Yeah. Because also, too, it's the thing with Instagram is that you have to stay consistent.
Yeah.
If you don't stay consistent, then the algorithm, it's crazy because it's like, my fiance said, I'm married to the algorithm. And he, like, we got in many fights in the beginning because it was like, when I first started, because I was just so, like, frustrated with it. But now that I've worked with it for a year and I know the ins and outs of it,
Yeah.
it's like.
Until they change it again.
Until it changes again and they do another update. But it's like, if you don't post, let's say, a week, I think the CEO said it. It's like if you don't post for like a month,
Yeah.
then they start to like not pay attention to you anymore, and then it's like you have to rebuild your stuff all
Yeah.
over again, right? And I think right now my biggest hurdle that I had to face, which I just recently, I think, crushed in a good way, was my pivot, because I went from mocktails to content strategy, because I was like, am I gonna keep shaking cocktails in my living room 4 times a week to make income? Like,
Yeah.
I'm literally making a new recipe every week, and it was just so draining and time consuming, and working with brands is just a lot, because it's like, also too, when you work with these brands, it's not like, okay, send us the stuff, we're going to give you your pay.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the bigger brands are net 30. So it's like, okay, now I have to wait a whole month. Okay. Like, it's just, it wasn't consistent income for me.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was like, okay, like, what else can I do? So now that I found this series that clicked with the audience, I think the algorithm has now seen that, okay, this account is now more tailored towards content strategy. So let's more put it out to people that have been interested in that. But I think I stopped dropping mocktails like maybe in February. I still have them here and there because I still have long-standing contracts.
Yeah.
But it's been a ride. Like, my analytics, my metrics dipped for quite a bit just because of, the Instagram
shift.
Yeah, they're like, well, we only know you as like the mocktail person. Now, why are you putting out wellness? Like, why are you putting this stuff out? Why strategy? Why strategy?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I suppose you probably, like, it is like going back to that. Then when you have clients now, you're not only demanding of a brand, but now you have a client that you're also, accountable for to help them and support them.
Yes, and I've always said to them too, though, it's you get the results that you put in. Like, you get what you put in. So I'm pretty, like, I give them an hour of my time a week, and that's it, right? But it's just, I'm there for you with the one-on-one clients. It's like, I'm there for you 24/7, whatever you need. You can always ask me questions, but I basically just teach them within a 4-month time period of how I got from like where I was in June, which was June of last year. I was still at 1,600 followers. And then by September, I blew up to like, I want to say like 70,000.
Wow.
By the end of the year, I was at like 80-ish.
How often were you posting?
In the beginning, not enough, definitely.
Okay.
I didn't know much about it. I was just posting. Probably about like 2-3 times a week. I'd say 3 times a week. And then when I took it on full time, then I started to post every day. Like maybe I would say 6 times a day, and then I think I left
6 times a
Sundays.
day.
Or
Oof.
sorry, 6 times a week. Sorry.
Okay.
6 times a week, and then I would leave Sundays for Q&A so that I can engage with my audience.
Okay.
Smart.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So without giving away too many secrets, because you also have clients and stuff. So
Yeah.
what are some of the kind of high level tips you'd give somebody who's just trying to get into content creation themselves?
Don't care
Okay.
about what anyone's gonna think or
Yeah.
say. That's the biggest thing I notice, especially with because I don't sign everyone. I have discovery calls, right?
Yeah.
But I learn a lot from those discovery calls because I hear what their biggest obstacles are, right?
Yeah.
Which is usually they're not 100% in, and that's normal. It's really jarring to go from, I don't know, working out in the bar and then coming to now just talking to a camera. I didn't talk to a camera in the beginning, barely.
Yeah.
So it's that and the mix of, well, like in the beginning it was me. It was like, how am I going to feel like working with, or like how are my old coworkers going to feel about me like being online? And it doesn't even matter because the biggest thing to me is, do you want what they have? If you don't, why do you care about what they have to say? Right? So that would be number one. I think number two would, I guess, just be, it's a quote that Alex Hormozy says, and it's be so relentless that it would be unreasonable to succeed.
To not succeed or
to not,
something.
yeah, to not succeed. And that's because like you have to really, when you're posting every day and you're not seeing results, you have to keep posting every day, right? It's I think it's the same thing with sobriety. It's called instant gratification. You want to post a video and you want it to do very, very well, and then it doesn't, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, is this actually for me? And it's like, no. Every time that you post something, you should always be learning something. And that was the biggest thing for me in the beginning. It was every time, because my dad's a photographer.
Okay.
And a videographer, and he edited all the time, and I would like watch him.
Okay, so you've got some skills in the
Yeah,
bag.
well, I think it's just in my blood, in all honesty. But like, I just pick it up super fast. And so, one big thing for me was, how do I? This is like a big word of advice I give people: is how are you different than anyone else out there? Because there's this market nowadays too is so saturated.
So saturated.
Exactly. So like when I did mocktails, I was like, who am I? Like there's I'm friends with them now, but there was like 15 other mocktail creators that have anywhere between 20,000 to 150,000 followers. What makes me different? Well, my story makes me different. That took me a couple months to figure out, but that's what it is. It's your personal brand that sets you apart from everybody else. So it doesn't matter if, I dress better than this. If it's fashion, okay, yes, you could have the nicest clothes, but the other person who's actually talking to the camera and cracking a joke and being themselves is going to get more views than you. Sorry, that's just how it is. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I heard a great quote. It was like, just before, like, everything is cringe until it's not.
That's true.
Yeah, like anyone who's pushed the boundaries and made it at some point was extremely cringe, whether it's in fashion, whether it's like, DJing, whether it's anything. Like at the beginning it seems cringy, and it could be cringy, but you just persevere and keep doing it until it's not cringe anymore.
We'll ask any creator to go back to their early videos.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone will. I cringe. I can't even scroll down.
Oh, really?
I can't. No, because I'm like,
But you leave them up though.
huh? I leave them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people want to see, like, I've gotten messages from people where they're like, I love to see how far you've come in terms of like, you're starting in mocktails. Like the one-on-one client I just signed, she was like, I've been following you since mocktails, and to see where you're going from to where you are now, like that's enough for me to be like, I want to work with you. Right. So yeah, no, it's definitely different.
How do you like ideate all the stuff? Because like that's something that like, okay, today we were like, okay, what content are we going to film? And I'm like,
yeah. No, well, step one I think is, so I make this isn't a secret, I make all my clients go through an audit.
okay.
So I want to see if you've already started posting. what has worked for you so far.
Yeah.
And you can just be like, well, it's the views. I'm looking at the views and scrolling, and that's the highest. No, I'm not looking at the views. I'm looking at engagement rate. So
Yeah.
engagement rate is what the algorithm actually wants to see.
Yeah.
And that's what brands also want to see. It's not really about the views. It's based off of the, let's say, 100,000 people that watched my video. How many of them actually liked, shared, saved it, that kind of thing, like or commented, it just engaged with it, because that's actually more important than just like a bunch of views.
Yeah, because a lot of there's a lot of bots out there as well, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you just watch my video
No.
right now?
Oh no.
No, okay, I
weird.
literally. So this is I just sparked for the first time. I was talking about it with my fiance over breakfast this morning. Was that I have just been at the forefront of negativity, and I never have before, because especially with I have 90% women as followers.
Okay.
We all support each other, right? Like it's not, no one's ever kind of, there is one or two times where someone puts a negative comment, but not usually. And the reason why I did this post about bots, this is the one that's gotten like 250,000 views 2 days ago, was because I've been seeing, as now I'm in the coaching game in Instagram, there's a lot of fake people out there and I've come across, like when I do these discovery calls, some people are hesitant because they're like, like this one guy I was on the phone with, he was like, I just spent 10K like last year up front on this coaching program, and I'm not even getting coached by the person I invested for, right? And it's, so for me, he didn't have bots, but that's just like an example.
Right,
Another
right.
example is like, it's like this network marketing thing that they do now. And the people that are at the forefront of this, the coaches, they are buying their followers. And how you know that, and that's why I made this video, is I wanted to show people, I'm like, stop wasting your money paying $4,000 up front on these coaches where they are buying bots. So they'll buy, like, I don't even know how they buy it, but they buy them. And you can tell because the users are all in like South Asia, or like just they have like numbers at the ends of the names. They don't have any engagement compared to like they just have no engagement compared to the follower count.
Right.
So if they have like 1 million followers, but then their views and their likes are hidden, but then when you click on it, you don't have to scroll too far down, which means that they don't actually have many likes.
Right.
So, and then their shares are very slim to none. So there was just ways to show people, like, don't invest your money in just anybody. You have to really do your research. And I came across like I guess it was a lot of creators that, because I used a really jarring hook as well to get their attention. I was like something along the lines of, I'm going to piss off a lot of creators by exposing them. And
Nice.
you know,
Let 'em
that's
go.
going to
Okay.
generate negativity,
Yeah.
right?
it's a good
Because
hook.
yes. And so in that sense, yeah, like that's when people nowadays are buying followers and stuff, I have genuinely no respect for them, not gonna lie.
Yeah, because it's just a massive industry now, right? Like,
It is
bots.
like it is going to be like it already is, but like I think with probably the rise of AI and people having more free time and increased
Yeah.
unemployment as well, like I do think that Instagram is now, they consider themselves a media company, not a social media.
Oh, really? It's just, so especially when you buy these followers, what ends up happening is you negatively impact your engagement, because now Instagram sees, so if you have 1 million followers and only maybe, let's say, 10,000 views on this one video, and because those are the actual alive people that are watching them, and those are the ones engaging, so you might get maybe, let's say, 400 likes, even maybe 2. Instagram sees that, and so they're like, okay, you have 1 million followers, you only have 1,000 views out of the 1 million followers that you have, and you only have X amount of likes, which doesn't equate to the 1 million followers. So since you're not getting much engagement from your community, we're not going to push it to non-followers
Right,
to
right.
grow your page. So you're actually shooting yourself in the foot when you do this. And that was part of like what I try to tell people too, because a lot of like, I've seen it with some people that I've worked with as their content coach. When I receive them as clients, they have bots, and it's like, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Get rid of them, because you are actually, it doesn't matter how much time and effort I put in to help you. Unless you get rid of them, you're not going to grow.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes back to the thing. You should do things the hard way, not the easy way. Take the easy way out, you'll pay for it in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I think we're probably on to the final segment, the hot take wheel. So basically what we do is, it needs to be updated actually, but anyway, spin the wheel. You won't be able to read my handwriting, so I'll read it. And
Okay.
then we'll take it from there. So
Okay, cool.
feel free to give it a spin. Okay, let's see here. How much of a techno fan are you?
No.
Okay, let's give
I'm
this another
sorry.
spin.
Next one.
Okay, yeah. It's okay to leave somebody on red. Yes or no?
No.
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 No. I would always try to acknowledge people. I don't know what it is. I never want to feel like even people that like DM me, I can't do that. Like I have to either like it or, just reply with like an emoji or something.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah.
a lot for you because I'm sure you get a lot of DMs.
Yes, I am married to my phone. It doesn't leave the palm of my hand.
Yeah, I noticed as you were like, I'm going to put my phone away. You like tucked it in so you
down
can
here.
still see it.
Where is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really bad at responding to people, so I tell myself that sometimes it's okay.
What about you?
I think I have my good days and my bad days. But I know, I leave. Yeah, I try to respond as quickly as I can. Like I said, either like yourself, probably like the message or just get them straight back to it as soon as I can.
Yeah.
I think between us two, though, because we constantly are texting now,
Yeah.
that we're completely fine with somebody not responding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It takes a
no.
lot.
I think also girls too. Sometimes we're horrible at responding, from what I hear too, right? But for me personally, I think I'm worse with text. I'm way better at DM because I'm already there. What
Yeah,
happens is when I'm editing, I'll read a text, but then I'm like, okay, I'll reply right after this, and then I forget.
Yeah. Well, life happens. We were actually talking about this with Mariana here when she was on the podcast, but nobody says "be right back" anymore.
BRB?
Yeah, nobody says that because everyone's just
God, I
online.
haven't heard that in so long. Oh my goodness, you just unlocked a core memory.
Yeah.
BRB or LMAO.
Yeah.
Am I old for
Or
saying LMAO?
MSN when you used to do the knock on the screen.
Yeah.
Did you ever use MSN?
Yeah, but like I was born in '97, so I was
Yeah.
Tail end.
towards the
Tail end.
tail end
Yeah.
where I was still. I vaguely remember what you're talking about, but I don't know if I ever used it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how things change. Nobody says BYB, but yeah. Okay, so is there anything else you want to kind of let the people put on blast so that people know where to find you or...
Well, my handle is Elaine Empalmado on Instagram, so you can find me there. If you have any questions about content strategy, feel free to ask me, send me a DM. I'm literally, like I just said, live on my DMs, so I answer to everybody. So always feel free to reach out. I currently am taking more one-on-one clients, and then I also have my group program. I have one spot left, but it starts July 8th, so it might be too late.
It'll be too late by the time the podcast comes
so
out.
it's totally fine. But I am going to do another group because honestly, I didn't expect it to blow up as much as it did in the last month.
Yeah.
So I only started a month ago and I have quite a few of them. So
Okay,
it's
fantastic.
it's good to also as like women to have like a community to bounce your ideas off of rather than sometimes some girls want to do the group rather than the one-on-one so that they can be part of like, a community and support each other.
Yeah.
That's where to find me.
Okay, great.
And podcast down the road.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
Possibly.
Maybe I'll get another invite somewhere after this one.
Yeah. Or start your own.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe,
potentially.
possibly. Honestly, why not?
Why not?
Why not, right?
Dive in. The water is good.
Well, thank you so much, Elaine. And, I really respect everything that you're doing. You took a big leap of faith in yourself and, the road to sobriety is challenging. And, I wish you all the very best there. And, really appreciate our conversation and hopefully see you around Sleepless again. Hopefully Not drumming until your arms fall off, but
Definitely, I will definitely be back. I'm sure I'll
Yeah.
see you guys.
okay, great.
Thank you.
And for you, the listener, if you ever want to film in this gorgeous studio or come down and do drums like Elaine, or even work from our co-working area, we're based at 215 Niagara. We're open 24/7. All you have to do is download the Sleepless app and book and let yourself in. And as always, stay sleepless.
Peace.